Chris Mackowski for Emerging Civil War, and I am in Rectortown, Virginia, where on November 5th, 1862, George B. McClellan made his headquarters as he was slowly creeping from Antietam into Virginia, finally following Robert E. Lee. It's a super windy day, so I'm going to use the magic of technology to fade and reposition myself in front of a generic bush. I'm actually in my own yard, but I'm out of the wind and I can tell the story of Rectortown a little bit better from here. But the generic bush, I could be anywhere out in the field, right? I could still be in Rectortown. But instead I'll show you some pictures from my trip there. It was on November 5th where George B. McClellan had made his headquarters there. He was actually bringing up the rear of his armies. All of his other corps were a little closer clustered around Warrenton. And as he's kind of bringing up the rear, he makes his camp on one of the hills just outside of the little village. It was an important rail depot on the Manassas Gap Railroad, which stretched, of course, from Manassas through the Blue Ridge out into the Shenandoah Valley. So lots of train traffic, one of the important supply lines for the Army of the Potomac, something that McClellan was especially worried about. And one reason why he said he was moving so slowly, because he was having problems with those supplies. Windy out here today, so please bear with me. I apologize if it's attacking my microphone. Historians don't know exactly which of these hills McClellan made his headquarters on. My friend Kevin Pollack, who I consult on all things Antietam because he is a licensed battlefield guide there, he tells me that there's a lot of debate and discussion among local historians about which of these hills McClellan actually pitched his tent on. So if you take a little drive up here on the Lost Corner Road, which is just around the corner from the old depot, you can see it's beautiful rolling country, just an absolutely gorgeous spot. So regardless of which hill it was, McClellan had a beautiful view, even in November, although the weather's going to start to turn bad on him as he makes his camp here. But it's worth a little drive out here just to kind of check out the topography and terrain. McClellan had been here 2 days when on the evening of November 7th, Carthenius Buckingham, a brigadier general career officer from the War Department, braves an early winter storm, terrible weather, to come and pay a fateful visit to the Army. First visiting Ambrose Burnside, bringing a message from the War Department saying that Burnside has been named commander of the Army of the Potomac. And Burnside had been offered twice before. He again says no, but Buckingham plays his little trump card. He says, if you don't take it, we're going to give it to Joe Hooker. Burnside couldn't stand Joe Hooker, and so even though he felt that command of the Army was beyond his own capabilities, he took it because he thought that having the Army under Hooker's command would be disastrous. So with that settled, Buckingham and Burnside traveled over to these hillsides outside Rectortown to visit with George B. McClellan. McClellan was in the process of writing a letter to his wife. He puts down his pen, he reads the order from Washington. He later brags to his wife when he resumes that letter that he showed no emotion on his face as he read the news. It didn't seem like he was surprised by it at all. He thinks that the decision is a calamity and will befall ill to the Army, but to his credit, he accepts the order like a man, like a soldier, very dutifully says that absolutely. He tries to console Burnside, who at some point during the meeting actually starts to weep. He tells his letter that Burnside was just a wreck, knowing what was about to befall him. Little did he realize that Fredericksburg was about to befall him in another month or so. So the disaster would be even worse than perhaps Burnside feared. But McClellan, to his great credit, is going to really try to ease the transition of the Army, really support Burnside. He will go back home to New Jersey and try to quietly take it like a man. He'll get a little noisier as time goes on and eventually becomes the Democratic nominee for president in 1864 because his dissatisfaction percolates that strongly. But here at the beginning of November 1862, a monumental moment for the Army of the Potomac, a monumental army, and a moment of great character for George B. McClellan. In Rectortown and in my own yard, I'm Chris Mackowski for Emerging Civil War.